Mandatory meeting? Mandatory extra pay. I used to work as a special education teacher. Normally, the special ed team has 2 prep hours. One for completing paperwork. There is an insane amount. Testing kids. IEP meetings. Meeting as a team. Etc. The other prep hour is to literally prep for the academic courses I taught, which included ELA, social skills, etc. New admin rolls in and decides we are going to have one prep like everyone else. I remind admin of all the extra stuff special education teachers do on top of normal teaching. Duties to no avail. Normally we schedule IEP meeting during that extra prep hour. But that no longer exists. So I start scheduling them before, after school and during my lunch when I have time. I am a contract employee, which means if I am required to work outside contract hours, I get overtime pay. Overtime pay requires these pink paper timesheets. Asking for one gets the secretary agitated every time because she knows admin hates explaining to the district office why the overtime is required. So I march into the office and request the timesheet. The secretary is not happy and cautions me this won't end well. I man shrugging and walk away. So admin is required by law to attend these meetings. Admin assumes I am holding these meetings out of the contract hours out of the goodness of my heart. At the end of the month I submit a timesheet for 20 extra hours. Admin was present for every single one of those minutes. There is no denying it. Admin charges into my classroom before school the next day super mad. I explained to admin that it might be wise to give the special education teachers that hour back in their schedule, or the overtime would continue. It took a week, but we got that hour back. And I got a nice little extra check in the mail. TLDR boss didn't provide enough time to do my job during contract hours. So I billed boss overtime pay, which his bosses did not appreciate. Boss gave more time during the workday as soon as billed. FYI, IEP, Individual Education Plan. When you're in special needs education, even if you have a small class of 8, you have 8 of these to do. These aren't short documents to fill in either. At least from my experience here in Australia. Working to rule is the best form of malicious compliance. It flushes out the idiots. Most systems, things are in place for a reason. Money helps PPL realize faster. I love the value that green paper has. My sister is a special education teacher and she approves this message. What were you doing in that hour that you lost for your meetings? Did they have some other work for you to do during the day? My loving wife has been at this special education thing 22 years and counting. Seemingly every year or two a new admin rolls in and wants to change things up. They never listen. Oh my, love your spirit. A few decades ago I was in charge of a special ed unit in a regular primary school. Year 1 to year 7 at the time. In a rural area where we had children with a range of severe disabilities. They required supervision and assistance, including feeding and toileting, constantly. We had a staff of 2 teachers and 2 aides. Not full-time. We took turns to have lunch, but rarely got the same lunch and morning tea breaks as the other staff. There were complaints about us not doing playground duty, but I explained how each of our SE staff were doing on average 3 times as much duty as the regular staff. Usually more. But there came a point where they insisted we do the regular duty. I said fine. But our students will now be spending their lunch and breaks the other students and my staff, if they are not rostered, will not be on the premises. The regular staff lasted 1 day until they reverted to the old system. Note: we made sure our students had their needs met on that day, but it meant cutting into teaching time. Also, Because most of our students were very frail and/or had behavior issues that meant they had to be very closely supervised. I made a point of opening up our classrooms and facility to regular students to foster relationships and more inclusivity. We were very restricted as to what we could do, but we made a point of developing relationships with their peers as a priority. New bosses are stupid until you train them. As a parent, all the stuff the special education teachers do is amazing. Kiddo graduated speech therapy this year. Teachers even helped out with math as a part of kiddo's speech therapy. Nice. You even got paid to be maliciously compliant. I was the special ed teacher last year, and my solution to too much work fitting in my scheduled day was to quit. I now sub as the teacher in the same class, same pay these days, and leave when my kids do. One of the nicest "fuck you, pay me"s I've ever read. Story aside, thank you for doing this as a job. You're a special type of human. That's honestly the most BS thing I've ever heard. When I was 12 or 13, I was an extra set of hands in one of the special needs classes in my middle school. I got a look of, "Oh, thank God she's here," during the class period. I was there because they loved the extra set of hands. I couldn't imagine them losing a planning hour. You mean to say I've been missing out on extra pay this whole time? Question mark. The secretary is not happy and cautions me this won't end well. Stupid demands from admin person never do. Maybe they should have learned that by now. Also a special education teacher. I wish my district gave overtime for after-school IEP meetings. Here. That's just par for recourse. Meanwhile, general ed teachers will refuse to attend because it's outside contract hours. Yeah, it is for me too. Tough nuggets. Why does it seem the whole world is about to end whenever there is overtime? I am slow clapping for you. I get 45 minutes a day for everything. We have to beg people to cover our classes during their prep for IEP meetings, but this sounds like a better plan. Thinking face. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.